Okay, so I'm in one of my favorite places. It's the Sacramento Antique Faire, second Sunday, and I want to bring you guys along in case I see anything that I just feel like you need to share. But you come in, the place I always come in where I park, and this is one of the first booths, and he always has some cool stuff. Actually, I got the books that I made my mom's memory journal out of from this place here. So stay tuned, I'll be back. Okay, so oftentimes the people that you initially come upon, the booths, antique vendors and dealers that are at the very beginnings when you first walk into an antique fair, they pay oftentimes more for those booths. They're right there at the front. So people come in, they're excited, they have money, they're ready to buy. I like to go in, I like to go into the row that's last, and I look for the people who, unlike this lady, who has this gorgeous Fredericks catalog, and I asked her how much she was asking for it, and it was $20, which is what I figured. I figured it would probably be more than I was willing to buy, because this is what this lady does. This is what she sells. She is an expert, or a specialized, rather, I should say, in what she's doing, which is vintage linens and vintage, kind of girl Hollywood-like things. So look for the people who have piles of stuff, who have the tables in the front that say $1. Oftentimes it may not be stuff that's worth a lot, but it's things that we can use in our art, in our mixed media. Look for the guys that don't care about lace and don't know what they have, not the ones who are specializing in that. Okay, stay tuned. I'm looking, I'm hunting. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I'm on the last aisle now. I sort of bypassed a lot of the in-betweens, which I usually go aisle by aisle, but today I really wanted to peruse the outer limits, shall we say. And so I stopped by one gal who had a whole gob of lace. She had a whole roll, and it's not that the price was bad. She wanted $80. It was a whole spool. It was definitely vintage. Lovely. I might go back when I leave. It's on the way out. But in this last row, this gal had on her, I don't know if you can see, this bag of bits and pieces of lace on the trunk of her car, and then a whole gob more of lace. And I just asked her. It said $20 for the bag of bits and pieces and trim. And I said, would you take $20 for all of this? And she said, yeah, sure, just take it all. Just take it all. So there you go. Go to the outer limits. You'll get better deals. That's the moral of that story. Yeah, you would sometimes think that somebody who has a gob of something, like the button lady who I just walked by, that the prices would be better on those things, because it's like, geez, you have 1 million of them. Why do you need to charge $5 per button or whatever it is? It wasn't that much, but it was still, all things considered. But that is just how the game is played in the world of antiques and vintage items. So there you go. Okay, so now we're headed over to the other side of the street. I just came back and forth. I needed to get a little bit of cash, which cost me money to get, but that's the way it happens. That's the way the ATM machine crumbles at the antique fair. So you do what you gotta do. But anyway, I really wanted these buttons, and so that would be something else I would say, is just be friendly, be kind. I know that sounds like a duh kind of statement, but these folks work hard out here, and they do it because they love it, as you know, but they also do it to make some kind of a living. So yeah, be honest, be kind, get acquainted with the dealers. This guy and I connected because he lived in Germany, and I saw something in his booth that reminded me of Germany, that probably was from Germany. And then he had several bags of buttons, and he wasn't the button man. And what's the guy going to do with several bags of buttons that he's dragging back and forth, time after time? So I made him an offer, and he said sure, and I had to go get money, and then I came back, and I offered him even lower, and he couldn't remember and asked me what it was that he had said in the first place. So I was honest with him. It's tempting to be like, oh, you said $5 for 7 bags of buttons. But no, that is not what he said. He said 14, and then he said 12. So 12 is what I paid for 7 bags of really cool buttons that I will share with you later. As you can see, I'm melting. It's getting warm out here. I got myself this lovely plant stand, which I will give you a better look at after I get it home and set up. I went by one guy. He had this one that was kind of round. It had no glass in it. It was very cool. He wanted $65.
I went by somebody else that was on an end, and they had a similar one, a little taller. The guys that was 65 was the shortest. They wanted 45. I kept on going, and I found this guy who I think I've bought some rusty chairs from before, that I made my friend Bonnie a succulent planter out of. And I asked him how much he wanted for this beautiful, rusty, heavy. This isn't one of those, flat from Ross or Marshall's kinds of ones. This is one of those that's been around for a while and has a little bit of the white. But anyway, he wanted 25. So yeah, sold. And as you can see, my trusty friend here is packed full. So we're ready to go. I also found a new sewing desk that I have to somehow figure out how I'm going to get into my Toyota Corolla. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I'll talk with you soon.